NNRG.
So I kind of decided early on that for every 50 episodes of No Nostalgia Retro Gaming, the nominations are going to be entirely my own choices. And I'm also going to be restricting myself to selecting games that no one else presently has nominated, or even has in their queue. So I picked 4 games, which I've played some version of, but never the C64 version, or if I have played the C64 version, it was for so little time I barely remember any of it. So, to that end, the game selected today was Ghostbusters, which I've played the NES version, I've played the Atari 2600 version, and I've played the Master System version. But the Commodore 64? No idea. Well, I shouldn't say no idea. I've seen screenshots of it, so I know it's sort of related to the other ones. Like, I mean, the thing is, well, let's just get it started up here. So, Ghostbusters. For some reason, it's a tape file. I thought it should be a disc, but whatever. So, okay, this one's apparently been cracked by Hakuto Force. Seen that one before. So yeah, with Ghostbusters, what's interesting about the games that came out is that they seem like they were oh, okay. Apparently we've got shame on the Ricochet Software House. Okay, apparently some kind of gripe went on here. Has the main game freezed? We can't tolerate. Okay, so apparently some cracking group failed to get Ghostbusters out properly. So they ended up getting, like, recracked or something? Okay. Like, I mean, that kind of makes sense. Like, one of the few things I understand about cracking groups is that the idea was you wanted to be first. But a big problem was you not only had to be first, but you had to do it right. So if you didn't do it right, you kinda really got some bad publicity amongst the rest of the groups for that. Okay, so let's get started here. So, guessing spacebar, yep, skips past the intro. And then we're gonna have the trainers and stuff. Or no, it looks like this is documents? Okay, it is documents. Hey, anybody seen a ghost? Matter of fact, yes, many ghosts are right now winging their way to the infamous Spook Central, and only you can avert a disaster of biblical proportions. To save the city, you must make it to the top of the Temple of Zool. The Temple of Zool? Okay. This can only be accomplished after you've caught many ghosts, earned more money than you originally started with, and sidestepped constant danger. Now go ahead, show them how they do it downtown. Okay, so that's actually a reference to how you're supposed to beat the game, and it's something a lot of people get confused about when they play this game, is that you're not allowed to enter the final building of the game until the amount of money you have exceeds the amount of money you started with, which sounds a little weird as a sort of requirement, but it'll make more sense as we get into this. And yeah, this is saying to type Lodestar 8,1. So this was on a disc. So why did they crack it to a tape file? I don't know, that's just weird. Okay, so this part here is talking about the various items you can equip yourself with before you start doing your adventure. Now, the C64 version here doesn't seem to have a lot of them. I know that later games like the NES and the Master System versions have a lot more items than this. So it kind of feels like this version might have been developed between the 2600 version and the NES or Master System versions. That's just a guess, though. And here's another thing here. It says here, if you successfully complete a game, an account number will record your account balance. You can use your account number on any Ghostbusters program. Be careful to always enter your name and account number in exactly the same way. The idea here being you can start with more money the next time you play if the last time you played was a completed game. Now, I don't know if you have to have successfully ended the game. Like, I mean, as in, like, get to the top of Zool and, like, beat the bad guy or something, but Okay, that seems to be the end of it. The last page here is simply talking about how the game ends. So let's actually get into it. So escape, and then escape again. Well, run stop. So, yep, Activision presents Ghostbusters. So, now it says software speech there. I'm pretty sure the game's going to have, like, some speech effects in it. So, we'll see. Just push spacebar again? Yep, just push spacebar again. And turn off all the trainers, because I know exactly what I'm doing, sort of. Ghostbusters! Yeah, I had a feeling it was going to do that. Is it going to do the thing where if you wait long enough, it's actually going to start showing the lyrics to the theme song? Because I know that's something that happens in the Master System version. I don't know if... Well, we got the bouncing ball. We've got the bouncy ball, so that's a good sign that it's actually going to start going over the lyrics to the song. But yeah, it's something I know the Master System version does. I don't think the 2600 version does it, because I don't even think it has a title screen. And the NES version, I'm not sure. Because the NES version, I've never just sat it on the title screen and watched. Because I don't own it. So... Okay, and it's saying press F1 or F3 to start the game. Now, I'm pretty sure if you press F3, it just immediately goes into a new game without doing the first part. So let's just see what the first part's all about here. So, Ghostbusters for professional paranormal investigations and eliminations. We're ready to believe you. To form a Ghostbuster franchise in your city, please state your name, last comma first. I don't think this actually matters. I think if you just punch in anything, it accepts it. Yeah. And do you have an account? No. So this would be, if I had an account, yes, then you would punch in like a password and it would restore, it would like give you a certain amount of money to start with instead of the default amount. So in that case, welcome to your new business. As a new franchise owner, the bank will advance you $10,000 for equipment. Use it wisely. Good luck. So yeah, this is playing... this is interesting because in the NES version, you're not allowed to select your vehicle. And I don't think you're allowed to in the Atari 2600 version either, but in the Master System version you can. And the idea is that different vehicles can have a different number of items at a time, and also have different speeds on the road. So, I think, what's it saying? Press space to view car options. Oh, okay, so I think I'm actually just supposed to push space and enter? Okay. So this shows us the first car here, the Compact. Carries 5 items of cargo, top speed 75. So the next one is the 1963 hearse. Carries 9 items of cargo, top speed 90. I think this is the one that's representative of the actual vehicle used in the movie. So the next one is the station wagon, which carries 11 items of cargo and top speed 110. Now that's kind of weird. Isn't a station wagon and a hearse like very similar in terms of their like their actual construction? I don't know. And then the last one here is the high performance car, which carries only 7 items of cargo, but has a top speed of 160. So the idea is that if you get far enough along in the game to get tons of money, you can actually afford to start with the high performance car, because you can't switch your car mid-game. And then this way, even though you're carrying less items, you're going so much faster that you can bust more ghosts, as it were. But anyways, let's go with 2. The one that we're all familiar with. And now we buy our items. So I think this one had a limit of 9 items. So the idea is we use a forklift here to bring items to the car. So we got the PK energy detector, the image intensifier, the marshmallow sensor, ghost bait, traps, ghost vacuum, and portable laser confinement system. So here's the thing. These all seem like, because I'm thinking to the items that you actually get in the other versions of the game, to me this seems like they're all necessary except for the image intensifier. Well, technically the PK energy detector even. So the energy detector, the image intensifier, technically even the marshmallow sensor, but you absolutely need the ghost bait. You absolutely you don't need the ghost vacuum, but you probably want it. The traps, absolutely required. And the portable laser confinement system, which is very optional and very expensive. So let me explain what these actually do, if I'm remembering this correctly. The PK energy detector basically tells you how long you have until you lose the game. Because there's a PK energy level that continues to go up over the course of the game, and you have to get into the main Zool building before it maxes out. The image intensifier, I believe, just makes it easier to see the ghosts. Marshmallow sensor lets you see which building is about to get attacked by the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Ghost bait is a twofold item. You need ghost bait to... Well, here's the weird thing. In the NES version of the game, the ghost bait is used not just to stop the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man from actually trampling the buildings, but you also use it during the ascent up to the top of the Zool building to get the ghosts away from you. So I don't know if that's how it's gonna be here, but that's like required. You need to get ghost bait. You know what? Let's just put it in right now. Traps, these are used to trap ghosts, plain and simple. The more traps you have, the more ghosts you can catch before you have to drop them back off at your headquarters. So get at least a couple of these. The ghost vacuum is used to suck up the ghosts that are on the overworld, and I'm not sure, like in the NES version, that it's worth money. But the main purpose of the ghosts on the overworld is to get to the Zool building and increase the PK energy. So maybe it'll still be worth money here. I guess we'll find out. And then you have the portable laser confinement system. The idea here is that if you purchase this and put it in your vehicle, you never have to go deposit ghosts back at your headquarters. You just have to buy one trap, one laser confinement system, and you're good. In fact, I think in the NES version, this is redefined as like a super trap or something like this. Like a trap that you never have to empty. But yeah, so we're definitely going to go... You know what, let's just get these optional items because they're going to make life easier one way or another. And then I guess we'll just... Well, we have enough for one more trap. So you know what, 3 traps, that's fine. Okay, it says press E to end, so... And we already got a building flashing. So the idea is the dots on the road tell you the path you're about to take, then you hold up or down towards the building you want to enter and press the button. And then you actually drive the path that you've laid out with the dots. So the more dots you lay down, the longer the drive is going to take. Okay, and we're already at the building, so we drop the trap, we place our guys. Now, in some versions, the beams go... Yeah, in some versions, the beams go directly up, and in some, they go at an angle. Okay, they just said Ghostbusters. So, yeah, in this one, it looks like they go at an angle. So, I think that 2600 version did that. And it looks like there's going to be a ghost here. I think purple means that there's going to be a ghost, but it's not there yet. So, you know, let's drive over there, see if something's there. No. Okay, well, I guess... Oh, never mind. Now there's a ghost there. Actually, that might be what the PK energy detector does. It lets you see where ghosts are going to be ahead of time. And yeah, just like in the movie, you don't want to cross the streams when you're going for the ghosts, otherwise you got a problem. So, that was worth $800 there. And we got one more trap, so let's go trap the ghost over here, and then we'll bring him back to HQ, because we only got 3 traps, so... Now, it doesn't look like there's anything to do with these driving sections, but my guess is that it's going to be like on the 2600, where the ghosts are going to come into play, and then, like, when you drive over the ghosts on the map. So, we'll see how that goes. That was only worth $500. Okay. So yeah, so now we're going to go back to the headquarters, and then this should allow us to drop off the ghosts that we have. Okay, so that should have emptied the traps if this is working like other versions of the game. Oh, and we already got a... I wasn't expecting that. There was a red building way up at the top that started flashing. Okay, yeah, so the ghosts do appear on the driving section. So you just line yourself up, hit the button, and you suck them up. And it doesn't look like it's worth any money, so that's annoying. But it does get them off the map so that they don't go to the center of the map and make trouble for you. So yeah, this is basically just timing. You just gotta follow the ghost patterns, use the beams to sort of restrict its movement, and just time it. Yeah, so I think the manual said something about the amount of money you get for busting the ghosts being relative to how long it takes you to get to the, like, to actually bust the ghost. So, not quite sure about that. Like, I don't want to run around too haphazardly, because then I'm going to be burning time, like driving time. Like, it says there's going to be a ghost over here, so let's actually just get to the building. And then that way, when it starts flashing red, we'll immediately be there and can get as much money as possible. Oh, no, that's interesting too. So if at the side of the screen, you can actually see a key and a lock. And those are supposed to represent the gatekeeper and the keymaster from the movie. So, actually, I think I better go grab those ghosts that are near the Zool building. So, let's do that. Oh, and... oh, right. If I'm remembering correctly, you can't actually go to the buildings from the sides. You have to be at the front or the bottom of it. Is this gonna work? Oh no, wait, this did work. Okay, never mind. Okay, and so this is the problem that can happen, is that the ghost can sort of escape and you're not allowed to back up your guys. Okay, so I managed to catch that one anyways, but that was a little dicey there. I think if you take too long, the ghost will... You'll fail to catch the ghost, so yeah, and the idea is you're supposed to get up to enough cash to get over the amount you started with, and then that allows you to go into the Zool building. So maybe we'll get there? Like, so we're doing pretty well so far. I only had like 500 when I started. Okay, maybe that was the... oh no, wait, I got it. So far I haven't missed any of these ghosts. Like, I mean, I remember with the 2600 version, it's actually kind of hard to catch the ghosts. So, well, maybe the pattern's just easier for me to see. Whereas if you actually look at the NES version of the game, the NES version, and even the Master System version, you shoot your beams directly up, and you have the ability to angle them. But angling them is almost pointless, because shooting them straight up just gives you way better coverage. Although one thing I've noticed here is that in most versions of the game I've played, well, I shouldn't say most versions, in the NES version and the Master System version, you actually you can actually go to the store after you've already started playing the game. Like, the store is a location in the city you can go to. That doesn't seem to be the case here. Also, in the NES version, you had to worry about fuel. That doesn't seem to be the case here either. You seem to have unlimited fuel. So yeah, we're gonna hit 10,000 pretty soon here. But then the idea is, if you continue playing past that point, then that's money you can carry with you into a new game, right? So, should we go past? Like, I'm not gonna play more of this after I'm done here, but... like, I mean, maybe? Just for sake of, like, getting a better... well, you know what? It's kind of unnecessary to give everybody a better password or anything, because you could just use the trainers if you really wanted to. So, yes, I guess it's not that big a deal. Let's just get into the Zool building and see how those mechanics work. Okay, so I think either 2 or 3 more captures should do it. So let's get the thing down. Oh, that's my first miss.
He slimed me.
Okay. Well, you don't lose money for that, but I think if you get slimed, but more than... like, you get 3 Ghostbusters, and you need 2 of them to lay a trap. So, I think getting slimed once is not that big a deal, but if you get slimed twice, you gotta go back to the headquarters to heal up. So I kind of just healed up there preemptively. The other thing I noticed is getting slimed actually dramatically increases your PK energy level. And the PK energy level is basically almost like a difficulty slider. The higher it goes, the more difficult everything gets. So you kind of don't want the PK energy to go up. You want to get into the Zool building as quickly as you can. Okay, I'm approaching a purple building right now. Let's see if it's turned red by the time I get there. It has not. So, gonna sit in front of it as long as I can. I'll move if I have to get those 2 ghosts that are approaching the Zool. Nope. Already got the ghost. So let's see if we can catch it this time. Make sure we've got it right there. Okay, how much am I gonna get? It's going to be 900 again. Okay, that is good. So one more catch should put us over 10,000. And we got a flashing building right up here. So let's go do it. Head to the Zool building and see what that entails. Okay, let's get this ghost captured. Didn't get it in the beams, but that's fine. So, yep, that puts us over 10,000. So I think this will allow us to go into the Zool building now. Just in case it doesn't, I'm gonna make sure I catch those ghosts along the way. Okay, it's actually not allowing me to select the Zool building. So there's probably more to it than that. I guess possible the amount of money you need over your starting amount is more than just 10,000. Like there's possibly a specific amount of money you need more. But I'm gonna catch these ghosts along the way. Like, I'm pretty sure in the NES version, it's just the $10,000 mark. You don't need any more than that to get into the Zool building. But maybe it's different here? We're at 11,000 now. So is that going to be enough? Yeah, it still won't let me go into the Zool building. So there's definitely more to it than that. Well, I've got a couple red buildings right next to each other. So with any luck, I'll be able to get the 1,600 I still need to get up to 15,000. And maybe that's the magic number? Like, I don't know. I thought it was going to be 10,000. I thought we were going to be done recording by now. So I'm over 1,500. Is it going to let me into the Zool building? No. Really? So the only thing I can think of at this point is maybe the PK energy has to actually max out. Because I think that's a thing with the Master System version. So I think we're just going to let them all start gathering. The only trick is I got to be ready on the B key on the keyboard in case the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man shows up. And you can tell if the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man's about to occur because the ghosts will all go towards a spot that's not the Zool building. And you have to hit the button before they all gather towards it. So let's let the energy kit start going up there. Yeah, the PK energy is like spiking now because the ghosts keep going into the building. And my finger's on the B key just in case. I don't know what button you press on the other games because it usually doesn't happen to me on the other games. Oh, there it goes. So we immediately go to the Zool. We have to sneak past the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Oh geez, how are you supposed to do that? Like, I don't know if it wants me to go to the sides? Maybe? Oh, that is how it works. You just go in through the side. Okay. Yeah, Stay Puft isn't happy about that. Okay, we made it into the building. So, oh good, we don't have to actually go up the stairs. And we don't even have to fight a... We don't even have to fight a boss. Okay. Congratulations! Thanks to you, Gemini, the portal to the spirit world has been closed. You earn a $5,000 reward from the city. Also, you made more money than you started with, so the bank will raise your credit limit to $20,600. Your new account number is 064052000. Write this number down for future play. So yeah, that's basically the end of the game now. So if I wanted to, I could start the game over, say that I have an existing account, punch in that number, making sure that I put in the same name, and it would start me with $20,600 as opposed to $10,000, which, you know, allows you to buy the high performance vehicle or take a lesser vehicle and like put in the laser confinement system or something. But there's almost no point to that. Like, I mean, consider that we were ready to beat the game well before the natural end of the game. I ended up just sort of waiting there for the game to end itself because I didn't think at first it was going to be related to the PK energy because it's not in the NES version. And the 2600 version is like so incredibly simple. I don't even know if the Zool building is in the 2600 version, but I have no idea how you're supposed to get to it because it is so boring to play the 2600 version. Whereas at least the NES and the Master System versions have some depth to them. I think maybe the NES version goes a little too far because like one of the things with the NES version is you have to actually go up the stairs to get to the top of the building, just like in the movie. And the staircase section in the NES version is horrendous. Like, I'm not even kidding. You have to tap the buttons. Like, you have to tap like the A or B button or something like that, and it moves you a pixel. And you have to go up 26 flights of stairs, including like the full like landings to get to the top. Is it 26? I forget how many floors it is now. For some reason I think it's 26, but maybe I'm wrong about that. Either way, it's a long climb, and you're doing it one pixel at a time for each tap of the button. Like, whoever came up with that mechanic is insane. But yeah, Ghostbusters on the Commodore 64 plays kind of like a mix between, I would say it's a mix between the Atari 2600 version and the Master System version, not the NES version. The NES version has a lot of extra features that really didn't need to be there. But the NES version also has this thing going on where you have to, where you have to, what is it? Yeah, it's based on the amount of money you have to get into the building. Whereas in the Master System version, it's just like here. It's based on how much PK energy is built up. And then also that whole sneaking into the building thing, that is in the Master System version and not in the NES version. So yeah, it's like a mix between the 2600 version and the Master System version. Like somewhere in the middle there. It's still not great. Because, like, that's the thing with Ghostbusters. It was kind of a highly experimental game where you're sort of, like, running a business, almost. You're running a ghost-busting business. Like, that was kind of the direction they were going for here. And, I mean, just look at the thing at the bottom here that says, designed by David Crane. For anyone who knows anything about game developers, David Crane was very experimental with the kind of stuff he was doing. So it doesn't surprise me that he was the one who came up with this. And it also doesn't surprise me that the game has some considerable differences between the different platforms, because as they were developed, they were probably thinking like what should be done differently, what worked, what didn't. So yeah, Ghostbusters on the Commodore 64, it's not great, but you know what? It's more playable than I expected it to be.